Welcome to module 2 of chapter 6. In this module we are going to introduce well-known families of graphs such as complete graph, complete bipartite graph, null graph, regular graphs and Cayley graphs, etc. Module 2 of this chapter is about some known graph families and their properties. The objectives of this module are: we are going to discuss different graphs like complete graph, null graph, complete bipartite graph, path graph, cycle graph and wheel graph, regular graphs, Cayley graphs and intersection graphs. A simple graph X that has an edge for each pair of vertices is called a complete graph. That means between any two vertices there is an edge, then we will call that as a complete graph. The complete graph is denoted by Kn, where n is the number of vertices of X. For example, K2 is denoted here. K2 contains two vertices and there is an edge between these two vertices. K3, there are three vertices, 1, 2, 3, and there are three edges. These are the maximum number of edges can have. Also you can see that the degree of 1 is 2, degree of 2 is 2. One can be connected at most two vertices, so there is an edge between any two vertices. The K4, there are four vertices and there is an edge between any two vertices. Similarly K5. So these are the examples of first four complete graphs. Actually K1 just is a one vertex. So now we will look at few properties of this complete graph. There is an edge between any two vertices, or equivalently any two vertices are adjacent. So complete graphs contains maximum possible edges for a given set of vertices. It is also called universal graph or a clique. Why it is called universal graph? It is because out of given vertices this has a maximum number of edges. So total number of edges are going to be n into n minus 1 by 2. This can be derived easily. It is because sum of the degrees of all vertices is equal to twice the edges. That is the first theorem of graph theory. Here in the complete graph it is easy to see that the degree of each vertex is n minus 1. So there are n vertices are there. So total number of sum of the degrees of all vertices is n into n minus 1. If we divide it by 2 we will get the number of edges. The degree of each vertex is n minus 1. Every simple graph with n vertices is obtained from by Kn by deleting some edges. Now we are going to look at another graph called null graph. A graph with no edge is called a null graph. That means here there are no edges at all. So each vertex is an isolated vertex. We denote null graph with n vertices by nn. For example, the graph n2 has two vertices 1 and 2 and there is no edge between them, and n3 has three vertices, there are no edge between them. So all the three vertices are isolated, the degree of each vertex is 0. And similarly n4 with four vertices, no edge between them. So another graph which we are going to discuss is a cycle graph. The cycle graph on n vertices, say 1, 2, 3 and so on n, is denoted as Cn. Is a simple graph in which I comma j is an edge if and only if I minus j is plus 1 or minus 1 modulo n. That is, if you look at this graph, this is a cycle graph with three vertices 1, 2, 3, and there is an edge from 1 to 2 as well as 1 to 3. That's why we say that I minus j is equal to plus or minus 1 modulo n. And C4, that is cycle graph with four vertices 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. There are the edges, and a cycle graph with five vertices. So you can see that here the degree of each vertex is 2 and all the vertices forms a cycle. So now let us see the properties of the cycle graph. all the vertices form a cycle. Here cycle we mean that the vertex set V is equal to V1, V2 and so on Vn be the vertices of cycle graph Cn. Then there is an edge from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3 and so on from n minus 1 to n and then n to 1. That is what we mean by cycle. So consequently the degree of each vertex is 2 here. There are n edges, so the number of vertices are equal to the number of edges for this graph. So another graph is a path graph. A graph on n vertices, say 1, 2, 3 and so on n is called a path graph denoted by Pn if for each I 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to n minus 1, the set I comma I plus 1 is an edge. That is the path graph P2 is 1 comma 2. There are two vertices 1 and 2 and there is an edge between them. P2 is also complete graph K2 and P3 is 1, 2, 3. Here if you look at the it is have two vertices of degree 1 and one vertex is of degree 2 and the number of edges is just 1 less than the number of vertices. If you look at P4, there are 4 vertices and there are only 3 edges. 3 edges are from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. And again it is easy to see that if I now put an edge from 4 to 1 in P4 or in P3 if I put an edge from 3 to 1, then we are going to get the cycle graph. That means this graph is obtained from cycle graph just by deleting one edge. So another graph which we discuss is a bipartite graph. These are very important. A graph x equal to v comma e is called a bipartite graph with bipartition v1 comma v2 if v1 v is equal to, that is entire vertex set v is equal to v1 union v2 and v1 intersection v2 is empty and each edge of x joins a vertex in v1 and with a vertex in v2. For example, the following graph v equal to v1 union v2 where v1 is equal to abcd and v2 equal to ef g h I. There are no edges between the two vertices of v1, similarly no edges between two vertices of v2. So if you look at the graph here, a, b, c, d, there is no edge between these vertices. There is no edge between E, F, G, H, I. So every edge if you take here, one end vertex is in A, B, C, D, other end vertex is in E, F, G, H, I. So the total vertices are divided into two groups, V1 and V2. V1 is A, B, C, D and V2 is E, F, G, H, I. So it is easy to check that every cycle graph of even length is bipartite. So it is better to check this part, and every path graph is bipartite, also easy to check. Whereas the complete graph Kn for n greater than or equal to 3 and a cycle graph C 2n plus 1 for n greater than or equal to 1 are not bipartite graphs. When cycle graph with odd vertices are not bipartite. Now we define a complete bipartite graph. A complete bipartite graph is a bipartite graph X with a bipartition V1 comma V2, that is, it is a bipartite graph first, in which every vertex in V1 is joined to every vertex in V2. A complete bipartite graph is denoted by K m comma n with mod V1 is equal to m and mod V2 is equal to n. That means the number of vertices in V1 is m and the number of vertices in V2 is n. So consequently the total number of vertices are m plus n. Since complete bipartite graph is again a bipartite graph, so the number of vertices are m plus n. The number of edges is interesting. Here we have m into n edges. So it is because every vertex in V1 is joined to every vertex in V2. So the number of edges is m into n. So for example, K 1 comma 1, that means there are two vertices, one vertex V1, V2, V1 contains one vertex and V2 contains one vertex, and K21, that is V1 contains two vertices 1 and 2 and V2 contains only one vertex. If you look at here, there is an edge from V1, every vertex in V1 to every vertex in V2, and K22 is V1 becomes 1, 2 and V2 contains 3, 4. There is an edge from 1 to 3 as well as 1 to 4, edge from 2 to 3 and 2 to 4. This is K22. Now we look at the properties of complete bipartite graph. There is an edge between every vertex in V1 to every vertex is in V2. The degree of every vertex in V1 is n, whereas the degree of every vertex in V2 is m. The length of every cycle is even. So here just to check carefully, but we are going to give a proof for it. In fact, we will prove that the length of every cycle in bipartite graph is even. Also we are not defined what is a cycle means, so we will define these in later. And the number of edges are m into n and the number of vertices are m plus n. The graphs K1, m or Km1, they are also called star graphs. K1m means are one vertex in one side and m vertices in other side. Km1 is m vertices in one side and one vertex in other side. These graphs are called star graphs. The wheel graph is obtained from cycle graph by adding one vertex to it called the hub and edges from this vertex to all other vertices. It is denoted by WHN, wheel graph n with n vertices. It contains n plus 1 vertices and 2n edges. The degree of every vertex excluding hub is 3. For the hub, the degree is going to be n. For example, WH3 is obtained from cycle graph C3, 1, 2, 3 and we are added another vertex 4 to it, and from that vertex we added edges to all other vertices. Here the vertex 4 is the hub, so degree of 4 is 3 here. In this case, of course, all the vertices have same degrees, but in general it need not be. Look at WH4. Here the degree, the hub is 5 and it is constructed from cycle graph C4 with 4 vertices 1, 2, 3, 4 and hub is 5. There is a edge from the hub 5 to all other vertices 1, 2, 3, 4. So the degree of vertex 1, 2, 3, 4 is 3, whereas degree of the vertex 5 is 4. Till now we introduced various well-known graphs. Now we are going to introduce regular graphs. Regular graphs are graphs in which the degree of each vertex is same, and these regular graphs further contains other subclass of graphs called calligraphs, and these calligraphs further contains another subclass called circulant graphs, and then we are also going to introduce another type of graphs called intersection graphs. Now we are going to discuss important class of graphs called regular graphs. A graph or diagraph X is called a k-regular graph if degree of V equal to k for all vertices V belongs to V. For a directed graph, in degree of the vertex is equal to out degree of the vertex equal to same, then we will call that as a k-regular graph. For the regular graphs, what is going to happen is the degree of every vertex is k. If the number of vertices are odd, then using the handshaking lemma or first theorem on graph theory, its regularity cannot be odd. That is easy to see. Already we know that the number of odd vertices in a graph is always even. So further, if the number of vertices are odd, then if the degree of each vertex is odd, then what is going to happen is odd plus odd times we are end up with an odd number. So but the sum of the degrees of all vertices is equal to twice the edges. So whenever there is a regular graph with odd regularity, then it might need to have even number of vertices. A complete graph is n minus 1 regular. As we observed in the complete graph, every vertex there is an edge from every vertex to every other vertex. So the degree of each vertex is n minus 1. Of course, if you assume that, we are assuming here that the number of vertices in the complete graph is n. Complete bipartite graph is regular only if m equal to n. It is because we know that the degree of each vertex in V1 is n and degree of each vertex in V2 is m. So it is going to be regular only if m equal to n. Cycle graph is 2 regular. It is because the degree of each vertex is 2, so it is 2 regular. Path graph is regular only if it has 2 vertices. As we observed in the path graph, at least there are 2 vertices of degree 1. It has 2 pendant vertices that we observed in the path graphs. And a wheel graph is regular only when n is equal to 3. As we observed that in the wheel graph, the degree of each vertex is 3 except the hub. So if n is equal to 3, in that case hub is connected to only 3 vertices. In that case only the degree of each vertex is 3. So wheel graph is regular only in one case, that is n equal to 3. The Johnson graphs and K-cube graphs and Peterson graphs, which we discussed in the first module, they are also regular. One can refer those and check whether they are really regular or not. So we have lot of graphs which are regular, which are already defined earlier, are regular. So again recall, a regular graph means that the degree of each vertex is same. So one of the important regular graphs is the Cayley graph. Cayley graph is constructed from the groups. Let G be a group, let S be a non-empty subset of G that does not contain an identity element of G. That means we are collecting any non-empty subset, but that does not contain the identity element of G. Then the Cayley diagraph or graph associated with the pair G comma S denoted CAY G of S, that is Cayley graph GS. This graph has vertex set G as its vertex set, and any 2 vertices x comma y belongs to G. XY is an edge if and only if XY inverse belongs to S. It is because since G is a group, we can define x into Y inverse. But that is again belongs to the set S, then we will say that there is an edge between those two. An example of a Cayley graph, but before going to that, if you observe that depending upon the set, the graph may be directed graph or undirected graph. Observe that Cayley graph is graph only if S is closed with respect to inverses, that is S equal to S inverse. That is if small s belongs to S, then S inverse also belongs to this. In this case only this becomes a Cayley, it is going to become a graph. Further observe that we do not take 1. If you take 1 in the graph, then we are going to have a self loops. That is the only reason we are not considered 1. So also the graph is K regular if S has K elements. The set S is called connection set of the graph. For example, if you take G as S3, as you know S3 means a permutation group. That means here 1 2 1 3 2 3 1 2 3 and 1 3 2, they are all permutations. The permutation means 1 1 onto mappings from the set 1 2 3 2 1 2 3. So identity here means that 1 maps to 1, 2 maps to 2 and 3 maps to 3. 1 2 means 1 maps to 2 and 2 maps to 1, and whereas 3 maps to 3. So we know that S3 contains 3 elements. So if anybody is not clear, then we request you to refer any algebra textbook for the symmetric group S3. Then the symmetric group on 3 symbols, and if you take now S is equal to 1 2 1 3 and 2 3, then it is easy to see that S is a generating set of G, as every permutation can be expressed as product of transpositions. Transposition means it is a permutation of length 2. For example, 1 2 3 is not a transposition. Though the corresponding Cayley graph CAYGS is simply K3 3. as shown below. So here the vertices of this graph are the elements of G, that is E 1 2 1 3 2 3 1 2 3 and 1 3 2. So now there is an edge between two vertices if and only if x into y inverse belongs to S. So E into 1 2 inverse belongs to S, then we say that there is an edge between them. That is easy to see that 1 2 inverse is again 1 3 or 2 3, so clearly there is an edge between E and 1 2. Similarly, one can check other edges also. Now one of the interesting graphs of calligraphs are, subclass of calligraphs are palligraphs. Calligraphs and cyclic groups are called circlant graphs. An important class of circlant graphs is palligraphs. We define them in the following manner. Let Q be a prime power such that Q is congruent to 1 mod 4 and Fq denote the finite field of order Q. The palligraph P of capital P of Q of order Q is a graph whose vertices are elements of the finite field Fq, in which two vertices are adjacent if and only if their difference is a non-zero square in Fq. Here try to understand that here we are taking Q is congruent to 1 mod 4. If you do not take Q as congruent to 1 mod 4, in that case instead of palligraph we are going to get a diagraph. Why Q equal to congruent to 1 mod 4 is required? It is because in the number theory we saw that the minus 1 is a quadratic residue if and only if the prime is of the form 4k plus 1. Further, because of that, if A is a quadratic residue, then minus A is also quadratic residue. So that is squares. So that's the reason we are going to get a graph. Since Fq has Q minus 1 by 2 non-zero squares or quadratic residues, hence P of Q is Q minus 1 by 2 regular graph. As we are aware, minus 1 is a square in modulo Q if and only if Q is congruent to 1 mod 4. Consequently, A minus B is square if and only if B minus A is a square. So that means here we are looking with respect to addition. So to know more about these palligraphs and these notations, so one can refer Algebraic Graph Theory book by Chris Godsill and Gordon Royal. So now we will give an example of a palligraph. On the other hand, if you take Q is equal to 3 mod 4, then PQ is a diagraph. Though now we are given as example of a palligraph. The following graph is P13. 13 is congruent to 1 mod 4, so we are going to get a graph. So if you look at this graph, there are 13 vertices 0 to 12 and edges are taken whenever A minus B is a square or B minus A is a square. So here it is easy to see that it is a regular graph and also it has a nice properties that we will discuss in the subsequent modules. Now we are going to define another graph called intersection graph. Let S1, S2 and so on Sn be non-empty subsets of a set S. Then we define intersection graph, overlap graph and containment graph and disjoint graphs as follows. The vertex set of all these graphs is V is equal to S1, S2 and so on Sn. There is an edge between Si and Sj if for I not equal to j, and if for intersection graph Si intersection Sj is non-empty, then there is an edge between Si and Sj. Overlap graph, again Si intersection Sj is non-empty, but Si does not subset of Sj and Sj does not subset of Si. Containment graph, if Si is contained Sj or Sj is contained in Si. In this case, we are going to put an edge between Si and Sj. And disjointedness graph, That is, in this case there is an edge between Si and Sj only if Si intersection Sj is empty set. So now we are going to define interval graph from these intersection graphs. Depending upon the nature or geometric configuration of the sets S1, S2 and so on Sn, many important subclass of intersection graphs were generated and studied. Few of them are interval graphs, tolerance graphs, chordal graphs, unit disk graphs, line graphs, circular arc graphs, etc. For example, a graph is interval graph if it can be represented as intersection graph of intervals. Here S1, S2 and so on Sn are intervals. Following figure illustrate the construction of interval graphs with 5 intervals. If you look at this diagram, first part we took that there are 5 intervals. Now each of these I converted into a vertex. So these 5 intervals are converted into 5 vertices, and we put the edges, intersection of these intervals. There is an edge between 1 and 3, it is because these 2 intervals are intersecting. There is no edge between 1 and 2, so it is because these 2 intervals are not intersecting. Similarly, there is no edge between 1 and 4 also. There is an edge from vertex 5 to all the vertices. It is because that interval is intersecting with all other vertices. Many problems which are difficult to solve for general graphs are easy to solve once we confine to interval graphs. That is interesting property of these interval graphs. That means many problems which are difficult to solve for general graphs are easy to show for interval graphs. Further, interval graphs have a number of applications in different areas. For example, in archaeology, scheduling, biology, etc. Now we are going to solve few solved problems. The first question is, what is the smallest number n such that the complete graph Kn has at least 500 edges? The solution, since the number of edges in Kn is n into n minus 1 by 2, hence n into n minus 1 by 2 is greater than or equal to 500. It is because we are looking at least 500 edges. Or equivalently, n into n minus 1 is greater than or equal to 1000. The smallest value of n is 33. The next problem is, prove that number of edges in a bipartite graph with n vertices is at most n square by 4. The solution, let x equal to v1 union v2 comma e be a bipartite graph with n vertices. Let modulus of v1 equal to x and modulus of v2 equal to n minus x. It is because we are assuming total vertices are n. So if v1 has x vertices, then v2 going to have n minus x vertices. So by definition of x, the number of edges f of x is at most we are going to have is x into n minus x edges. That is for the complete bipartite graph. But since it is a bipartite graph, we have at most x into n minus x edges. Since f dash of x is n minus 2x and f double dash is minus 2, so consequently f of x has its maximum value at x equal to n by 2 and its value is n square by 4. So the complete graph, bipartite graph with n vertices will have at most n square by 4 edges. Let x be a k regular graph where k is an odd number, then prove that the number of edges in x is a multiple of k. This is easy. It is because the degree of each vertex is k, so sum of the degrees of all vertices is k into modulus of v, that is equal to twice the number of edges. So k has to divide 2 times modulus of e, and since k is odd, so the GCD of 2 comma k equal to 1, hence k has to divide the number of edges. Next question is, for what values of m and n the complete bipartite graph Kmn has more number of vertices than edges? We know that the number of vertices and edges in Kmn are m plus n and mn respectively. Further, m comma n is greater than or equal to 1, hence m plus n is greater than or equal to mn is possible only if either m or n equal to 1. Now we will show that the cyclic graph C4 is not an interval graph. So cyclic graph we will denote as ABCD C4. Now we considered ABCD as intervals. Why we put there is a connection, there is a intersection between the edges vertices A and B. It is because the interval A and interval B are intersecting, and so that is related to there is an edge between A and B. A and C, there is no edge between A and C, so we have that one. So but D is intersecting with C as well as D is intersecting with A, so because of that D is going to intersect with B. But if you look at the graph, there is no edge between D and B. This is creating a problem. That is the solution now. C4 is an interval graph from C from above, since there is no edge between A and C, but there is no overlap between their corresponding intervals. Further, B and D both are adjacent to A and C. So consequently, hence there is an overlap among the corresponding intervals, which is again shown above, which is a contradiction that A and D are not adjacent. In this module, we introduced various families of graphs. These families of graphs we are going to use frequently. In particular, we are going to use complete graph and complete bipartite graphs very frequently, and also the regular graphs. So with this we end this module.